Hey, LL4 research paper's done, hopefully. So we're moving on to some bigger and better things. This week is going to be a little different in that there's nothing technically due at the end of this week. It's going to be due the following Tuesday. So the first day of week 5 is May 4th. You're going to have all of this week, May 4th, 5th, nothing on the 6th, then the 7th and the 8th, and then skip over through the weekend. You're going to Monday the 11th and then Tuesday the 12th. That's when it's going to be due. So a little different to give you a little extended time and to make sure you have sufficient time to do this and not overwhelm you. So make sure you're watching these videos. Hopefully this will be helpful. First things first, if you have not turned in your final draft for your research paper, that needs to be done as soon as possible before you even think about doing this. If we don't get that in, that's going to lead to an incomplete. That's a big thing we need to get done. You need to turn it in regardless of what your grade is in this class right now. Please email me if you have not done it yet so I know where you're at in the process and so I can do what I can to help you get to the finish line on that. That being said, all work assigned Monday, May 4th in the morning, per usual, but all work for this week will be due next Tuesday, May 12th at midnight. So you can follow this daily schedule or you can knock things out all at once, but we're working on a singular assignment all the way through until next Tuesday. And then, of course, just having some flexible deadlines so you have time to do whatever you need to do, schoolwork or otherwise. So, Monday and Tuesday, um, basically, we're going to take a look at this film project. So, you're going to work on these. I'll go into detail on that in a minute. Wednesday, a new thing from the district. So Wednesdays, you're not going to have any new assignments from any of your teachers. At least you shouldn't. Um, so Wednesday is basically a day off for me. You can continue working on this. You can continue watching the movie that you pick, but nothing is assigned or needs to be done on Wednesday. Thursday and Friday, we're going to continue working on it. And then obviously, you don't need to do anything over the weekend. But that following Monday and Tuesday should be the days that you begin to wrap up this project, and it needs to be turned in by Tuesday night, May 12th at midnight. Just a little FYI, I didn't finish next week's schedule, but you do get through Wednesday because that Wednesday is also going to be an independent learning day. You're not getting any new assignments from anybody, me included. So you basically know what you're doing all of week 5, Monday through Friday, and then parts of week 6, Monday through Wednesday. I will post the remainder and repost the Monday through Wednesday stuff for week 6, as well as Thursday and Friday next week, per usual, Monday morning, just so you know what's going on and you get a refresher. I'll go through this stuff now and then we will look to the assignment and I'll get you info on that and then I'll let you go. But to reiterate, if you have not finished your final draft, you need to do that first and you need to email me as soon as possible so I know where you're at and so we can work together to get that turned in. Do everything here in order. Obviously, I'll talk about what the order is and what exactly you're doing in a second. Follow the directions on the assignments. It's pretty detailed and it's honestly a pretty simple concept. Continue watching these videos. Go back to it if you need to. Everything is going to be due May 12th, Tuesday. So not Friday, Tuesday, May 12th at midnight. Email me at this address if you have any questions. Every weekday, Monday through Friday, both this week and next week, I will be at my computer from 9 to 2. If you have questions on anything, to email me or message me or whatever it may be. That includes Wednesdays. So even though you don't have any new assignments or class or whatever you want to call it, I will still be at my computer 9 through 2 on Wednesdays. So you can always message me then as well. That will not change. Checking in, as far as checking in goes, it's just getting your work done, reaching out if you have questions, stuff like that, and then keep it up. Otherwise, you're doing a good job. I hope that this assignment's rather enjoyable, especially compared to the research project, which you probably weren't the biggest fan of, but now we're moving on to something that you might like a little more since we did the heavy lifting for the other one. So this is going to be Google Classroom assignment number 5, film project. You are going to have time to do this from Monday, May 4th through Tuesday, May 12th at midnight. That's when it's due. Basically, you're going to watch a movie. There are lists for you. If a movie you want to watch is not on that list, that's fine. But your goal is to watch the best high school movie of all time. So like I said, you might already have one in mind, or you can choose one from the lists that are linked in the assignment sheet below. Just to really simplify everything, this is kind of like the really simple checklist here. Create 5 to 6 criteria as to why the movie you picked is the best high school movie. So the movie that you pick should be the best high school movie, and your job is to explain why. So you can do this while you're watching the film. You can create the criteria before, and then maybe you make a bunch of criteria and you pick some, or you could make them as you're watching, like, oh, this is really good, so I'm going to write that down, and then I can elaborate on it later. You don't need to really take notes on what the movie's about, but you're just writing down those 5 or 6 points at least as to what makes this movie so good. And as long as you can remember what links to that point and why that makes it so good, you're good to go. Follow the directions on the attached assignment sheet right here. We will check it out in a second. You're making a Google presentation, a Google Slides. So you're just basically, I'll show you how it looks, but you're just putting those criteria on slides, giving me a photo or two, and then giving me a sentence or two to explain how that criteria is met to make this movie the best high school movie of all time. I have an example slideshow down here that I'm going to show you. It is of a horror movie. So you're not doing a horror movie, you're doing best high school movie, but I just wanted to show you the format, and I didn't want to take any movies that someone might want to do. So that's why I did it that way. And then once again, due Tuesday, May 12th at midnight in classroom right here, Google assignment or Google Classroom assignment number 5, film project. Let's take a look at the assignment sheet really quick. So you are gonna, for this assignment, you're gonna watch a movie that you believe is the best high school movie of all time. You might have already watched it before, so you can rewatch it and enjoy it, or you can pick one off one of these lists here that are linked, okay? So those are 2 different lists. There's a lot of overlap in between them, but it gives you some ideas if you don't know where to start. You can watch it through a streaming service you have. There's a bunch of them now. I mean, I probably can't even list them all. A disc you own, DVD, Blu-ray, whatever, or on YouTube, whatever you want to do. Doesn't matter to me. Whatever way you access it, that's fine. Just you're watching whatever movie you think would be the best high school movie of all time. Once you've decided on a movie, you're thinking of 5 to 6 criteria. So these are traits or qualities of the movie, explaining why the movie you chose is the best high school movie of all time. This can be done before, during, or after watching the movie, whatever works best for you, but you need 5 or 6. For example, if I were writing a criteria for the best horror movie, once again, you're not doing that. That's just an example to give you an idea of like the criteria and stuff. I might say that the movie must have the following. 1, scenes with blood and guts. So that's a criteria. That's a trait or a quality. A scary psychopath or other creepy character, an innocent victim or hero, dark setting, chilling suspense. All right. You're doing high school movie. This is just an example, but you get the idea. So after you've watched the movie, after you've created your criteria, you're going to make a Google Slides presentation, which should have the following. Create a title page that includes the movie title, capitalized and italicized, your first and last name and class period. After that, you need to have a minimum of 1 slide per criteria you create. So after your title slide, we're looking at 5 to 6 slides at minimum. Obviously, more is fine, but that is what we are looking for at least. At the top of each slide, write 1 criteria. So you're writing the trait or qualities. So this would be at the top of a slide. On each slide, provide a movie picture or video clip from the movie that shows the criteria. Also provide a brief explanation of how the movie, the picture, the clip, whatever, selected fits the criteria. This can literally be a sentence or two, whatever you need, but don't think you got to write paragraphs and paragraphs for this. Due May 12th, little Joker meme for you. You can check that out later. To reiterate, here is the sample. So, Silence of the Lambs. If you have not seen Silence of the Lambs, obviously not a high school movie, but it is fantastic. So, if you are a fan of a scary, suspenseful movie, this is one to check out. It is fantastic. It's been on and off Netflix lately. It might be on Amazon Prime as well, that I know of, because those are two things that I have. But yeah, it's phenomenal. You got to check it out. So, notice title page. We have the basically a picture, so you could do the movie poster or a picture from a major scene with the title in there, the best horror movie, so you would replace that with best high school movie of all time, and then your first and last name and the period that you have my class. So here's my criteria at the top. After that, here's a photo and then a video that kind of links to that photo. You don't need to do both. You can if you'd like, but I'm looking for at least one. And then notice a very short explanation here. Hannibal Lecter legit rips off the face of a police officer and wears it as a disguise. Talk about horrifying and bloody, okay? So this is pretty gruesome. That definitely fits in with my criteria at the top. So I've explained how this video, how this movie, the scene, the character, whatever, connects to the criteria at the top that makes this the best horror movie of all time. And so I'm just going through and doing the same thing. I have a picture, I have my criteria at the top, I have some little writing at the bottom. I probably wrote more than was necessary, but that's fine. So you're just seeing these different things, okay? So you're getting a visual, you're getting an explanation to prove that this is the best. And really, it is. Silence of the Lambs is fantastic. So give it a watch if you haven't. It's great. A little scary. Probably watch it during the daytime, but it's really good. So to close, the requirements, just to make sure it's clear. Title slide, your name, class period, title of the movie, some sort of picture, whether it's a big scene or the movie poster or the disc jacket or whatever. And then criteria for the slides. The criteria slides themselves, 5 to 6 different slides, at least one for each criteria. You can do more than one slide for each criteria, but that's the minimum. You're naming the criteria at the top. At least one picture that shows the criteria is being met. It can be a scene, it can be a picture of a character, a setting, it can be a movie clip, it can be multiple pictures, whatever. This is just the minimum that needs to be met. And then a short description, 1 to 2 sentences, is all that's necessary. You can, of course, write more if you're really passionate about the movie or you want to add more detail, but that's all I'm looking for. And you're just explaining how the criteria was met based off of what the criteria is and whatever visual you chose. That's all I have for you. Remember, you're starting this during week 5 all the way through, and then during week 6, you'll be turning it in May 12th, Tuesday by midnight. Thanks. Hopefully you enjoy it. Reach out anytime to give me feedback, or if you have questions, always happy to help, always happy to hear about it. Thanks again. Talk to you later.